Slaine be getting abused by the count, man. Some jacked up stuff. Anyway, before I go any further, I just want to thank one of my viewers on my last review. Well, two of them. One of the people that commented told me that the series is actually supposed to be a total of 24 episodes split between 2 seasons. I believe that's what he said. So I'm missing 12 each. So that's about sounds about right. Like, you know, a decent length to what I estimated, I suppose. Because like I said, I don't really see this series dragging out too long. You know, the conflict in this series seems like something that could be resolved fairly quickly, which, you know, the pace that they're going. Even this episode, like everything that's happened so far has happened in, like, I guess like a range of 2 days at most. Like, they fought 2 mechas in a range of, well, 2 like verse mechas in a range of 2 days. They fought the Nicolaris, and this time they fought the Mars Knight, and the Mars Knight was freaking raw as hell. This dude came, he walked up in the base and said, "Fuck with me, nigga." This nigga was throwing his katana at their, you know, at all their machines and shit. He was slashing the mechas. This dude was raw as hell. My favorite verse mecha so far with this dude, just with his blade, like no guns at all, just slicing them. And obviously he wasn't really impenetrable like the last one, but it seems as if he did have a hard exterior. So in this episode, we see Inaho having a conversation with his sister. She's congratulating him on a good job, and we see him smile, but still not enough emotion. Like, we've already seen him smile, but it's not enough. And then that's when the princess, who is still in disguise at the moment, she comes up, thanks him. She's like, he tells her his name, and she's like, "Oh, you could call me." That's when her little helper bitch, I'm not gonna call her helper bitch, that was mean. She's not really, I don't know, she's too clingy to the princess, but her little maid gasps when she's about to, because she thought she was about to reveal her identity. Turns out she gave him a replacement name. She's like, "You could call me," I can't remember the name exactly, but either way, the little chick gasps, and when she gasps, it's something you don't really notice too much in animes, I'd say, like, or, you know, any type of yeah, I guess just animes in general. When she gasped, Inaho noticed it, and he was like, huh, like he had some surprise on his face. Like he just noticed it. Like, you don't really see it. Like, usually, obviously, the person watching it, like viewers like me and you guys who were watching it, we notice it. But for like the characters that the series actually noticed that type of stuff, it was actually different to me. I don't know why, but pretty cool. And we also find out the name of the chick, whose father and the rest of the assassinators who sent the missiles after the princess convoy, her name is like Riot or Raid. I'm just gonna call her Riot because it sounds cooler. So obviously she has some type of hate for the Martians. I'm guessing it is because maybe her father got killed by one. I'm not sure, or maybe her hatred was before that. I'm guessing her hatred now is just because her father got killed by it and she's salty at the moment. So she's like, "Are you gonna keep the secret?" Yada yada yada. He's like, "Yeah, because the princess isn't our enemy." Obviously the enemy is actually the people, the ringleaders of this assassination stuff going on. So she's like, "Well, either way, I'll spill the beans if I feel we're in danger." So obviously she's a bitch. I don't know what's her problem. Afterwards, that's when, you know, they got attacked by the Mars Knight, and, you know, Inaho constructed a plan with Calm and his female classmate, and I have a bad feeling that Calm's gonna get killed at some point, or injured, or close to death at some point, just because we learn in this episode how much of hatred he has for the Martians as well, because since their classmate got killed by the Nicolaris, and they were all mourning over his death, and they were looking at a photo of him, and you know, obviously now he has such large hatred for it. So usually I don't know, for something I noticed, usually in animes, when there's misplaced hatred, the person who was giving out that misplaced hatred usually gets hurt in a way, so they figure out that their hatred was misplaced. So yeah, obviously he shouldn't be hating the Martians themselves. He should be hating the assassinations. The assassinators are the ones who each side should be aiming after, but each side still doesn't know that yet. Only certain people know on each side. For his empire, only Slaine knows. So, you know, it is what it is. So they all construct a plan to stop him. Inaho's like, you know, I'll distract him for a little bit. And even at a point when Inaho was close to death, like, he caught the blade of he caught the hand of the Mars Knight, which was holding the katana. Even when the blade was right in front of him, at least I believe it was him who caught it. I don't think it was Calm. Even when he caught the blade, in that type of situation, if it was any other character, they'd have a struggling type expression on their face, you know, sweat coming down. The dude had the same expression he has all the time. This nigga was just looking like, yeah, I caught it. Like I don't know. I guess he's very he has a lot of faith in his plans, I suppose. I don't think faith was the word I was looking for. Either way, he had confidence, I guess. He's very confident in his strategies, and I won't call it arrogance because so far they've all worked. But either way, they constructed the plan and they stopped the Mars Knight. I don't know if they captured him, killed him. I don't know if we even saw what happened to him. But either way, Inaho and the rest of them recalled and they let the reinforcements take care of him. So they all recalled, and that's when his classmate was like, you know, it's not like you to do such reckless things, because, you know, him catching the blade like that was really reckless. He could have died right there. And that's when he gave a look to the princess. He was like, yeah, you know, that's true. So maybe that was some type of foreshadowing for us to see in the future episodes of him getting injured, doing something, you know, going at far lengths to maybe protect the princess. Maybe. So I don't know, I'm just, you know, making assumptions that at some point in the future episode he's gonna get injured very badly. And maybe at that point we'll maybe see some emotions, maybe see why he's like this. I really want to see why he's like this, and at this point we still haven't got anything of why he's like this. And to me, it'll be really lame if it doesn't get explained to why he's such an expressionless mushroom. I don't know, but so maybe at some point in the series we're gonna see him go at great lengths to protect the princess, and at that point he's gonna get hurt. And maybe the princess does have some affection for him, but I still think her affection is pointed towards Slaine. But maybe she does have some affection towards him, because when she was done talking to Inaho, before she revealed her identity, she was like, maybe sometime you can show me around the ship. And that's what Inaho's sister was like, heh. That's what Inaho just gave her that look. He's like, come on, bitch. You know I don't love these hoes. Why are you instigating in the first place? You know I don't love them. So maybe she does have some type of affection for him, because usually, obviously, she had intentions of revealing her identity to him, but that's not something you just say like, hey, maybe something you can show me around the ship. That's something someone who has affection for someone else would say. So at some point in the episode, we see the Count hit Slaine again, obviously, because Slaine got out of place to him. Slaine was he decided not to reveal that the princess is alive to the Count, because maybe he was scared that the Count was in cahoots with the assassinators, perhaps. I'm not really too sure why he didn't reveal it to him. I don't really remember. Maybe he was just scared, because Slaine's obviously a bit scared of the Count, because the Count be abusing him. And we also, it is actually confirmed now that Slaine is actually an Earthling. The Verse people call him Terrans, but he's actually an Earthling, and I'm guessing his father and dad, wow, him and his father was just saved by the princess at some point, maybe years before. But he's actually a Terran, and that's why, obviously, why the Count treats him so poorly. So Slaine comes back, because obviously he didn't take enough abuse. He likes getting hit by the Count, so he comes back. He's like, I like to be the one to take a vengeance for the princess. Obviously his real intentions aren't that. I'm guessing his real intentions are just for him to actually go back to Earth and meet up with the princess, try to save the princess, and just, you know, just to get in contact with her. Obviously he's not really going to try to take vengeance on the Earthlings, because he knows that it's not the Terrans who are really responsible for all of this. It's the assassinators. So that's obviously his true intentions. The Count's like, did I not hit you hard enough last time? And he just slaps him again on the face with the cane. And I guess he saw Slaine's determination when Slaine gave him that look. You know, he didn't stumble or anything, just he just kept on looking at him. He's like, I'm serious. So it seems as if the Count has acknowledged him for that, and I guess he's gonna let him do it. So I read this not a manga. I read this episode 8 out of 10. Very nice episode. Music was great. They played that soundtrack again, that I Say Fry, I think it's called, even though it sounds like she's saying I Say Fire, but I believe it's called I Say Fry according to YouTube. But hey, I don't speak Japanese. So yeah, they played that soundtrack again at a great time. Hopefully they play different songs, but either way, that's a great soundtrack. And at the end, wow, I can't speak. At the end of the episode, they kind of remixed it a bit. That they remixed that same soundtrack. So great music, great animation. I love it. And the reason why I'm sticking with this series so much, rather than other The reason I'm actually getting into this series rather than other mecha type series is because there's actually tactics involved, and it's not just mechas shooting each other with beams and guns and type of stuff. And the only really other mecha series I've actually watched, I guess if this counts, is Gundam. I believe Gundam was a mecha series, but I haven't watched Gundam since I was a little kid watching Toonami. So yeah, either way, but great episode, 8 out of 10. I rated 8 out of 10 just because we're still not getting any information on Inaho, which is really disappointing me so far. I'm getting kind of worried that we're not going to get any really information on him and his baby sister's backstory. So yeah, tell me what you guys think, and I'll talk to you people later. Deuces.